could share with us about that conversation, and then you relay that James wants to play with the Nets to Sean as soon as you hear something like that?
I don't know where you're making these stories up that me and James talked about any of this at a workout. Like, I don't know where that came from. And James is a friend of mine, but I let the front office handle all of that stuff. I was just so focused on working out. I heard all the noise, and I heard that, James potentially wanted to come to the Nets, but anybody can make up stories. Anybody can write a story, and it gets some traction. So, nothing's ever set in stone till it's set in stone. So I never thought too much about it. Just focused on myself, and my teammates probably did the same thing, and, we just move forward.
All right, Nick, what do you make of all of this? A lot, apparently.
I don't think there is a single person in the country that believes that. I think that might have been the least believable public statement since I did not inhale from Bill Clinton in the mid-90s. And we've had a lot of public lies, particularly in the last few years. And by the way, I guess KD thinks he has to lie here. I don't think he did. If you remember a couple years ago, Tanya Ganguly of the LA Times, by the way, congrats to Tanya, leaving the LA Times to go to grad school, announced that yesterday. Great career by her in sports media. She asked LeBron about Anthony Davis, and LeBron said, ask me if I want to play with Giannis. Ask me if I want to play with Harden. Ask me if I want to play with Steph. Yep. I want to play with great players. I don't know why KD is just telling bald-faced lies, and also you leave it to the front office. You have left nothing to the front office. They signed Kyrie because of you. They signed DeAndre Jordan because of you. They fired their head coach because he wasn't meshing before you'd even played with him, and they hired Steve Nash because of you. And by the way, as arguably the second best player in the league, you're allowed that type of power. But I don't understand why you would deny something, Brandon, that no one believes you on.
Well, Nick, maybe it's because the deal didn't get done, and maybe it's because he has to go to battle with the players in that locker room. A lot of those guys, if this deal would have gotten done, they would have been out of there. So you got to walk into that locker room, and you got to look those guys in the face and say, no, I believe in you. Let's go get a championship this year. So, look, I don't want to get into do I believe him or do I not, because as a player, there's a lot of – the media is powerful. It's a tool. Or it could be a hindrance for you. So there's a lot of times where you see players and coaches plant stories and plant things. And then there's a lot of times where you turn on the tube and you're like, what is this report? Where does that come from? Nobody knows. So I don't want to do that. But I do believe that if something of this magnitude goes down, Wilds, they have to talk. You have to think that. So I just believe the deal didn't get done. Now they're just moving on with their seasons.
I totally agree with you, Brandon. I think it's totally fair. You don't want to call into question whether or not someone's telling the truth. If I was Kevin Durant, hey, humor. It always, you just deflect and then joke. Deflect and joke. Bang, bang. That's your PR strategy. Say, hey, what have you heard about Harden? You're like, I'll be honest with you. I'm focused on my Achilles and trying not to get into the wine bath that Amari Stoudemire keeps pouring for me. Bang, bang. Humor. And they're like, ha, ha, ha. Okay, what else is going on? That's it. Because right now, you're not lying, but it's like this just happened. Remember the hallway conversation heard around the world where it sparked a million rumors? Like, oh, just two guys chatting. One guy's got pink shoes. It's all good. Maybe Kyrie's talking about having, two max slots. We should do this. Maybe he said that, maybe didn't. Who knows? But then when Kyrie is asked about it when he's on the Celtics, he's like, what? I'm just a human being. Guys, take a breath. Take a listen.
I don't have a private life when I'm out there in the NBA. Somebody wants to take a video and it is what it is. Pour water on it? I'm a human being talking to another best friend of mine. It's just crazy. This is the stuff that just doesn't make the league fun.
Wrong, it does make the league fun. Makes it really fun, actually. Surprise, surprise, they're back on the Brooklyn Nets. Then KD does a podcast like, hey, remember how we ended up on the Brooklyn Nets? Let's take a listen to that one.
We unveil one of the
one of the biggest surprise moves in NBA history.
Yeah,
Nobody ever thought it would happen.
Yes, especially after the All-Star game video where they caught us in the hallway. That's when it was solidified that we were going somewhere. They didn't know for a fact where it was, but it was somewhere.
Shout out to the podcast host, Eddie, who basically works for Kevin Durant. He's like, surprised? Nobody was surprised at all. So, Nick, I'm not going to say that the guy is lying, but we do have a certain track record of let's say, not an entire transparency.
Okay.
I'll meet you there. Not lie, just not totally transparent.
I've got a very, very quick hot take, all right? It's totally okay to accuse people of lying because everyone lies and they do it all the time. This whole, I don't want to accuse them of lying. Why not? People lie every single day to their wives, to their kids, to their employers. Of course he's lying. We all know he's lying, and I am accusing him of lying. I don't care that he's lying, but he's lying. Okay? Just for the record. I will venture out on that ledge, Jenna. I will venture out.
All right, let's head to the Christmas Day slate. Something to look forward to. The NBA reportedly will have these 5 matchups on Christmas Day. Let's see him. Zion on the Pelicans versus the Heat. Warriors, Bucks. New look Nets versus the Danny Ainge-led Celtics. And then you got Luka versus LeBron in the 8 p.m. game. That'll be a fun one for Nick. Clippers, Nuggets, the nightcap. So, Nick, looking at this slate, what excites you the most about the Christmas Day lineup besides, of course, your Lakers?
Well, I'm sorry. I just need a moment here to gather myself because I am so proud. Luka!
Oh, gosh.
In the main event!
Don't do it.
Luka, my large adult Slovenian son. The NBA is coronating him. The NBA saw what we all saw, which is this young man last year, I mean, he's played in 6 playoff games ever. By the way, in those 6 playoff games, believe it or not, he already has more 40-point playoff games than Giannis, Steve Nash, or Dr. J did. He's got the same amount of playoff triple-doubles as Steph or Michael Jordan or Isaiah Thomas. He averaged 31, 10, and 9 in the postseason. And the NBA understands he's going to win league MVP this year, so put him in the premier game against the best player ever and the best team. Not you, the Warriors, not you, the Nets, not you, the Clippers. Christmas Day, let's feature the face of the league of the last 15 years and the face of the league for the next 10 years, Luka Doncic. I love it so much that the league recognizes what they have in this young man.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. I love Luka. He will be the face of the NBA in the next couple of years. Man, I wanted to say that 2:30 game would be the game to watch, but you lose Klay Thompson. That is just a brutal blow and a devastating blow to the Warriors and all of the NBA. Everybody was excited to see this dynasty come back together. So, for that reason, I got to go with the 5 o'clock game, and that is the Celtics versus the Nets. Like, man, this team can be the best team in the NBA. They can win the ship. They can.
So
we want to see how Kyrie play against his old team. I know it's been a while. It's been a long time. But I want to see how he plays against his old team. I want to see if this KD's Achilles, how healthy is he? So this is a good game to watch. I think the most intriguing team, most interesting team in the NBA is the Nets. So I'll be tuning in to that 5 p.m. game, Jenna.
It's a great take.
I totally agree, Brandon. I'm a little bit nervous on if Nash is going to keep them on a minutes restriction, though. He had some comments like, we're probably not going to roll out, go, full speed ahead. So it's be an odd mix if you're playing on Christmas Day. You're only getting about 25 minutes. For me, what I want for Christmas, a tampering fine. That's what I want from Daryl Morey. I wanted to see Rockets 76ers. I wanted to see Ben Simmons versus Harden. Like, you're going to trade Harden for me? It's going to be like a Kukoc Jordan Pippen thing during the Olympics. That's what I really wanted, a tampering fine. So maybe we'll get it on the TNT games on December 22nd. But on my wish list is a Sony PlayStation 5 and a tampering fine. I don't even really want PlayStation 5.
Take a turn. We got a special guest joining us on the other side. David Ortiz stopping by. Talk a little baseball, among other things. Stick around. It's next.